You have returned. You have the prototype swoop engine accelerator with you? I was beginning to wonder if you would make it. The race is tomorrow, and my mechanics need time to install the prototype into the swoop engine of our bike. Don't worry. I'm a man of my word. I promised you could ride in the swoop race under the Hidden Beck banner, and I'm still going to let you do that. And I'm even going to go one better. I'm going to let you ride the swoop bike with the prototype accelerator installed on it. Without it, you won't stand a chance.
Gadden, you can't be serious. We need one of our best riders on that bike. We can't let some rookie take the prototype engine into the race.
I have to be honest with you. There's a reason I'm letting you take the prototype engine. The accelerator isn't stable. There's a good chance it could explode during the race.
Explode? Are you crazy? Why would we risk riding that thing then?
I can't ask one of my own riders to take the risk. They'll be running unmodified swoops in the race. You'll be the only one using the prototype. If you can complete the track before the accelerator overheats, then you'll win for the Becks. If you die, then one of my other riders could still come through for me. You don't get to be leader of a swoop gang if you don't know how to work all the angles. Without that prototype, you don't stand a chance of winning. And if you don't win, you can't get Bastila back. None of the other riders will give her up. This is your only chance. You can stay here tonight. The mechanics need time to install the accelerator on the engine, so you won't be able to practice your riding. But I've got good instincts, and you have the look of a racer about you. Just try to relax, and in the morning we'll take you to the swoop track.
Ikeltirimo, Tenfutiporavan, she offered to, she endured it out, and Rashi good, and she began Gorupio, and now for the Tufta. Udasta siefa, utstäker kris. Sia fade gurisa tutide andevat. Udin tufla fandigo kelfa, oisidan kelfa vaninogan kelfa. Sia fade gurisa tutide andevat. Penpundas.
Genchopa chawi tikchok twis yun kun, patuyama kama wona henak nek, bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa, dong abuk shami no no, shagji kina lorcha watamwana, kin kun shishikin, nikin kun ban mulara jikun, wama kun bes, ching pala mule, tune rana nuprata, donko searcha domatama?
Nikawa dubaka! Patisa! Kon mulis limo poi wanga kun riskin. Chi itakanki changa kilikon. Tinkuin ko ka, hinba ni chalora kun. Kung abashun ni chunchi, kakin cha nawabakaon. Shang waba chinyo, shang wi chama ucha wish uyong kun. Ang itwamachi.
Rundi haudonga kuhungabi, wana kunbes, jink palamul tonk kimba na konkek. Tung ting tachun kun nek muli rabest, tong hai tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Tolba da bunk walyagando de nago chuchut, kachi chuaitha haudonga. Yumalith ka inkotun, chilo mulra de ne bobo. Unka kun iskang bamulara.
Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo padona. Undi hodonga chihonkabi. Jawana bota ayuat tahonga chakanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topa da bunkwalya gando do nago chuchut. Muksha papangpa. Pola wana chikne. Pamuli slemo poda wanga kun bes mulira rabes. Tiska du suki kumpa na bona naikachu. Tuinkotu. Topa da bunkwalya gando nago chuchut. Kabachi kuita hodonga. Yalamo inkapun. Jiloba mulira ni bobo. Wango kun bes kakang. Pamama rulira. Jawana bota ayuat tahonga chakanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topa da bunkwalya gando do nago chuchut. Muksha papangpa, pola wana chikne. Pamuli slemo poda wanga kun bes mulira rabes. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo padona. Undi hodonga chihonkabi. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo padona. Undi hodonga chihonkabi. Uba patu konchi. Tong nong bong chang nung yang. Tong patok smakdelia. Tufla fandigo gelfa, oisidan gelfa vaninogan gelfa. Sia fade gurisa tutide andevat, penpundas tuoda. Tufla fandigo gelfa, oisidan gelfa vaninogan gelfa. Kolo tuftivan vebut, utstäkel kris. Bundas, Ufstakel, Kris, Bundas
sieltä. Mutta kelkki. Puhdasta sieltä. Vapuilta. Ja puhdas. Linda tufta. Kolondus. Ivan Webur. Ikelti Rimo. Tenfusi Boravan.
La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tok ninja mira rabes. Kuyami just kuna chitanai. Ina kun marulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi handonga chikon kabi. Uba patu kochi. Tong nongbong shang nung yang. Tong patok smaktelia.
She offered to, she enjoyed it out, and really good, and she began Bolivia, when now for the Tufta, Tufta Gelva, Oisidan Gelva, Tufta Vandigo Gelva, Oisidan Gelva, Vaninugan Gelva.
Uba patu kochi. Tong nongbong shang nung yang. Tong patok smaktelia. Kuyami just kuna chitanai. Ina kuna marulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi handonga chikon kapi. Chiska du suki kuba nabona naikachu. Tuinko tu. Topa da bunkwalya gandonago chuchut. Kabachi kuita handonga. Yalamo inkapun. Jiloba mulira ni bobo. Wango kumpes gang. Marulira. Yatuka ulwan kinkuna Mulira. Rachikun. Mucha shakpangpa.
People, hear me! Before I present the so-called champion of the Becks with their prize, there is something you must know. The winning rider cheated! Your swoop bike was using a prototype accelerator. Clearly an unfair advantage. Because of this hidden Beck treachery, I'm withdrawing the Vulkars' share of the victory prize.
Jawana bota ayuat tahonga chakanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topa da bunkwalya gando do nano chuchut. Muksha papangpa. Bola wana chitne. Bamuli slemo boda wanga kun bes mulira rabes.
You old fool. Your traditions are nothing to me. I am the wave of the future. If I want to withdraw the prize and sell this woman on the slave market myself, nobody can stop me.
I might have something to say about that, Brezhik.
What? Impossible. You were restrained by a neural disruptor. How could you have possibly summoned the will to free yourself?
You underestimate the strength of a Jedi's mind, Brezhik. A mistake you won't live to regret.
Vulkars, to me! Kill this woman! Kill the swoop rider! Kill them all!
Well, maybe those bloody Vulkars will think twice next time before trying to keep a Jedi prisoner. And as for you, if you think you can collect me as a prize... Wait, I don't believe this. You're one of the soldiers with the Republic fleet, aren't you? Yes, I'm sure of it. How did you end up racing for these swoop gangs? Well, we don't have time for it now. We have to get out of here before the Sith show up to sort out this mess. Is there somewhere safe we can go? Save me. Is that what you were trying to accomplish by riding in that swoop race? Well, as far as rescues go, this is a pretty poor example. In case you hadn't noticed, I managed to free myself from that neural restraint collar without your help. In fact, it's more accurate to say that I saved you. Brezhik and his Vulkars would have left you for dead if I hadn't stepped into that fight. You're lucky I was here to get you out of this mess. I may have been a prisoner, but a Jedi is never helpless. Maybe you've heard of a little thing called the Force? But I suppose I shouldn't be too hard on you. You did try to save me after all, even if it didn't go quite as planned. So let's get down to business. We're not out of danger yet. If I'm going to figure out a way for us to get off this planet, I need to know what kind of resources we can draw on. First, are we the only 2 survivors left from the Ender Spire? The Republic, for one. I was a fleet commander, remember? But I don't want you getting all worked up over nothing. So tell me, do you have a plan to get off this planet? Karth Onasi is alive. Finally, some good news. Karth is one of the Republic's best soldiers. He's proved himself a hero a dozen times over. And he sent you here to save me. Maybe I misjudged you. Karth wouldn't have sent you if he wasn't confident in your abilities. Forgive me. Despite my Jedi training, I still tend to act a bit rashly sometimes. Please, take me to Karth right away. Between the 3 of us, I'm sure we can figure out some way to get off this planet before the Sith realize we're here. You cannot win, Revan.
Bastila, you're alive! Finally, things are looking up. Now we just need to figure out a way to get off this planet.
You mean you don't have a plan to get off Taris yet? What have you been doing all this time? I see. Now that I'm back in charge of this mission, perhaps we can start doing things properly. Hopefully our escape from Taris will go more smoothly than when you rescued me from Brezhik.
I know you're new at this, Bastila, but a leader doesn't berate her troops just because things aren't going as planned. Don't let your ego get in the way of the real issues here.
That hardly strikes me as an appropriate way of addressing your commander, Karth. I am a member of the Jedi Order, and this is my mission. Don't forget that. My battle meditation ability has helped the Republic many times in this war, and it will serve us well here, I'm sure.
Your talents might win us a few battles, but that doesn't make you a good leader. A good leader would at least listen to the advice of those who have seen more combat than she ever will.
Yes, you're right, of course. I apologize, Karth. This has been a difficult time for me. Of course, I'm happy to listen to your advice. What do you suggest we do?
First off, we can't get hung up on who's in charge. We all need to work together if we want to get off this rock. The answer is out there, we just have to find it.
Well said, Karth. And the sooner we start looking, the better. I've already been a prisoner of the Vulkars, and I don't plan on being captured by the Sith. I think we'll need some help getting off Taris. Maybe if we ask around, one of the locals can help us out. We should probably start by asking around in the cantinas. Is something wrong? You seem as if something's troubling you. A vision? A vision of what? It's strange. Such visions are often a sign of Force sensitivity. I'm not sure. It may be that you have some connection to the Force. It would not be unheard of. When we first met, your natural talent may have fed off my own Force abilities. It is possible that in the excitement of the battle's aftermath, the Force allowed you to witness one of my more intense memories. The Force is complicated. Even I, with all my training, cannot fully understand it yet. This is a matter best left to the wise masters of the Jedi Council. Once we escape Taris, we can seek the guidance of the Council if you wish. They will understand the significance of your vision, if there is any. However, I think it would be best if we all stayed focused on the task at hand right now. We can't afford any distractions. We need to find a way off Taris.
Yes, what's on your mind? I thought I said I don't want to talk about it anymore. Not particularly. I guess it wouldn't hurt exactly either, though I don't know why you're so interested. When I think of all the men who betrayed us, the one that stands out above all of them is the one that I respected the most. Saul. With good reason. Admiral Saul Kareth is the commander of the entire Sith fleet. He's half the reason Malak has done so well in the war. Saul was my commanding officer back when the Mandalorian Wars first began. He taught me everything about being a soldier, and I looked up to him. Saul approached me before he left. He talked to me about how the Republic was on the losing side and about how I should start thinking of my survival. I know now that he was trying to recruit me into the Sith, but I couldn't have conceived of it back then. I argued with him and he got angry and he left. I never saw him again. Saul was my mentor. He led us to so many victories against the Mandalorians. I mean, even when things looked to be at their worst, I couldn't conceive of it. He couldn't be serious. I was wrong, of course. He not only left us for the Sith, he gave them the codes to bypass our scanners. I remember waking up as the first of the Sith bombers snuck past our defenses and began destroying half of our docked ships. I knew right away what had happened. I mean, I could have stopped him. I could have stopped it all. I blame Saul, not myself. I was stupid and I ignored the danger. He nearly destroyed us all. No, I fought Saul for years now, and if I ever catch up to him, he will regret what he's done. He will regret it. No, it's not. But I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's go.
Hey there. What can I do for you? I was a little snappish when we last talked. I'm sorry about that. I get a little touchy when it comes to Griff. It's kind of embarrassing telling people about him. No, I want to tell you. Zalbar's a great listener, but it might be nice to talk about this with someone who doesn't reply in growls and grunts. I never knew my parents. My brother always looked out for me. He's the one who brought me here to Taurus. I was just a kid, only 5. But I remember the trip, if you could call it that. We were stuffed inside a packing crate in a starfreighter's cargo hold with just enough food and water to make the trip. Not exactly first class, you know? I don't know the whole story. I was pretty young, but my brother owed a lot of money. Might even have been a few arrest warrants out for him, I don't know. The only way to get off the planet was to smuggle ourselves out. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we were criminals. Well, maybe my brother was. See, this is why I don't like to talk about it. It makes Griff sound worse than he really was. My brother had his problems, but he always looked out for me. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Without my brother, I don't know where I'd be. He gambled and drank, and he was always borrowing money for his latest get-rich-quick scheme. But he had a good heart, you know? He taught me how to survive, showed me how to slice into a computer security system, how to get inside a locked building without the entrance codes, and how to spot a wealthy mark for a quick shell game. Yeah, Griff did right by me. I really miss him since he left. I keep hoping he'll come back someday. He promised me he would. He fell in with a bad crowd. It's all Lena's fault. She's the one who took him from me. Just batted those long lashes at him and off he went. I don't want to talk about Griff and Lena. Just the thought of that space tramp makes my blood boil. Subject's closed as far as I'm concerned. If I'm gonna be any help to you, I can't be worrying about my brother running off with some intergalactic skank. So is there something else you need? Okay, have it your way.
How can I help? I would like to know what happened after you crashed on Taurus. I'm curious as to what you and Karth were doing before we all joined forces. I managed to free myself, as I recall. In fact, if I hadn't been there, Brejik and his thugs might have killed you in that fight. It's probably more accurate to say that I rescued you. I'll admit that I probably wouldn't have been able to free myself if not for the brawl after the swoop race. I guess I should thank you for that, at least. Actually, your presence at the swoop track is what I'm curious about. It couldn't have been an easy task to find me there. Yet somehow you managed. You also avoided detection by the Sith, discovered I was a Vulkar prisoner, gained sponsorship for the race, and became the Tara swoop champion. That's quite a resume. Your modesty is admirable, but though others helped, you were the catalyst for these events. When you were chosen to join this mission, I doubt any of us expected this much from you. A Jedi could have done such things, of course, but only by drawing heavily upon the Force. Perhaps, but the Force works through all of us to some degree or another. There are some individuals outside the Jedi Order that we consider Force-sensitive. It's obvious to me that the Force has been working through you. There is no other explanation for your great success, though I'm not certain what to make of this discovery. Perhaps if you weren't... well, if you were younger, the Jedi might take you for training. But as it is... I'm sorry, I've overstepped my authority. I'm speaking of things that are best left to the Jedi Council. For now, let's just accept the fact that you're gifted. Hopefully, between your abilities, my Jedi training, and the skills of our companions, we can find a way off this planet.